your mind somewhere else and keep going. That little voice in your head is trying to stop you from getting to where you want to be. Be successful and keep moving forward. With your host and world-renowned strength and conditioning coach, Phil Daru.
All right, Ian Garry, how you doing, sir?
Cool, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining me, by the way. You've been in my gym for how long now?
Since
last fight, right?
End of August I came here.
End of August, yeah.
So, yeah.
How you liking it so far?
Good.
Do I have to slap up Brandon a little bit, or is he doing his job?
No, he's doing his job.
All right,
yeah,
man, you are real quiet right now.
All is good.
Stop acting like you're not who you are.
All is good. No, Brandon's good. All is good. I hate strength and conditioning because it's the bit that it's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because you feel like shit after it. Then you got to train in the next day and your body's just wrecked. Like even the way I was saying to you the other day, my traps were in bits from doing the trap bar, and it was just like trying to wrestle the next day when you've got that squeeze. It's different. But no, we're working hard. Life is good. Everything's in the right direction.
Have you done any strength and conditioning in the past that was this strenuous or this consistent?
I done a lot of strength and conditioning in the past, but it was all the factors. Like the training I'm doing now in Sanford as opposed to the training I was doing in Dublin is completely different. And I think that's the main toll of where my body's kind of taking.
Intensity's gone up. Yeah.
Instead of doing 3 5-minute rounds of MMA, we're doing 6, 7
with some killers too.
The best guys on the planet. Instead of doing 5 3-minute rounds of kickboxing, we're doing 10.
Sure.
And it's even that, and then you're with the best guys, and you're getting so many different looks of the elite and it's different. And then you come here, and I'm doing whereas doing 2 and 3 a day back home wasn't really that strenuous. It was tough because you're doing 3 sessions a day, but it's nothing compared to the intensity I'm doing now.
You definitely took a step up in your abilities as far as like what you can do now. Like you're in the UFC. First fight was the last fight.
Yes.
Did very well. Got the knockout, right? Talk a little bit about your origin story, though. I want to have people understand where you come from and how you got to where you're at now.
So
go from the back. Go all the way back.
Born and bred in Dublin, Ireland. Very insanely active as a kid, in a sense of all I did was run and jump and scream and shout and climb trees, and it was all I ever wanted to do. I remember when we'd leave school and my mom, I'd throw my school bag at my mom, and I'd gone. I'd be up the tree down the end of the road in seconds, and it was just I was that kid that was I'd sprint out, I'd sprint home, I'd sprint everywhere. I'm just on it. I was just go. And that was kind of the same way that I was. It's still the same way I am in life now. I just go. But I trained. I've done a lot of team sports, like a lot of young kids do. They kind of try to make friends. You get along with each other. You just go play games every weekend, and we did that. But then, kind of around, I think it was around 8 or 9, I asked my dad, could I go boxing? And my mom was like, absolutely not a fucking chance. It's not happening. And I was like, I'm gonna go. Through some kind of back and forth with them, I ended up going. And I don't know what it was. I just had a want. I just had a pull towards boxing. Ended up going to a new gym opened up 2 minutes down the road from me. Went there, loved it, and just kind of fell in love with the training straight away. Just the intensity, the discipline. Didn't really like. I don't like people telling me what to do.
We know that.
I don't like people telling me what to do. It's I have a rebellious nature to just say no, or just to do the exact opposite of what they're telling me to do. But I enjoyed it as a kid. It was tough. It was gritty. The fights were so much fun, and just training was fun. I remember every time we'd run, we'd get in, we'd do a little warm up, we'd skip, we'd shadow box, we'd do some stretches, we'd go out and run, and the last kind of 600, 700, 800 meters, I'd sprint. Because I'm if I'm getting back first, I'm the first one on pads. So if I get back, I'm not going back hitting a bag. No way. So I'd sprint back.
We'll talk about you hating the bag work and shadow boxing too as well.
I just don't find it beneficial, mate. I get how it's mimicking the motions and you're practicing shots. It's just like, let me do it with a person who's going to move. I hate bar work. I hate skipping. Skipping I don't mind, but it's more shadow boxing. It's like the same thing. Just like I get it builds cardio. I get it builds things. I just hate it. Yeah. But yeah, I fell in love with boxing. Done that for years, competed, had a great time, and then I got tonsillitis on and off and kind of just couldn't train. It was weird. I kept getting it, then ended up getting an operation, getting it removed. Was still playing hurling and Gaelic, which are Irish sports at the time. I don't know if you've seen hurling and Gaelic, but they're pretty cool. So I was playing hurling. We played a friendly. I went to catch a ball. I pulled the ball down to my chest, and some dude who I was beating the whole game had enough of it, and basically just swung a baseball bat at my chest and just arm just went. My hand was broke. I nearly had a full split, like a full break of 2 bones, a clean break in one.
Radius and ulna.
Yeah, clean break in the outer one, and then a literally like millimeters left. Still played 45 minutes of the game, 45 minutes of the hour game, with one hand.
That's crazy.
Ran the pitch.
45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah. It was only after half time. I specifically remember my dad looking at me when I was on the pitch, and I had a body armor. It was cold in Ireland, right? It's cold, and it was winter time, and I was blessed to have an Under Armour on. Yeah. And the compression of the Under Armour was the only thing that kept me in the game. Little things. I remember pulling it off at half time and going, slide that back down, let's show no one. And my best mate at the time, Owen, comes over to me and goes, dude, what the fuck is that? And I went, nothing, just keep playing. And then I got literally a flick. Someone just flicked my wrist. I was like, that's it, I'm done. The pain was just, he was like, where are we going? I was like, hospital. Right now, we're going, and he's like, what do you mean? I was like, boom, pull this out. It was like a tennis ball at that point. It was massive. Shit. So that kind of took me out of boxing and hurling and everything. I was in a again, they couldn't put me in a cast up to my forearm because I moved too much. So they put me in a cast
put you in like a straight jacket.
Yeah, exactly. They put me in a cast at the mid-arm, so I was walking around for about 8-9 weeks like this. But yeah, that basically was like the start of it. I then went to go back to boxing, and like friends had left the gym. They kind of I was out for about 12 to 20 weeks was kind of like the time frame where I was out. Went to go back, and it just wasn't the same vibe. A couple of coaches left, went to different clubs like they do in boxing. People change and they move.
People change a lot, huh?
Yeah, they change and they move. It's okay. I'm not against that kind of mindset of changing and moving and evolving and growing. You get different looks, different people, different mindsets. I think it's only beneficial for athletes. So I understood, even as a kid, I understood it, but I was just like, all right, I'll leave boxing, I'll go do something else. So I kind of put more emphasis on playing hurling and Gaelic. And then when it came to about 4th year or 5th year in school, so when I was about 16 or 17, in Ireland there's a leaving cert, which is like the exams you do before you go into college. And it's basically you finish school, you can go do what you want, you don't have to go into college, you can go to work, you can do whatever, you're done now, basically. And I knew this was coming up, and I knew everyone was going to start studying, and I'm like, I'm not studying, I'm not doing this shit. So I was like, give me something I can put my time into and have an excuse to go to training. So I found judo, just started training. It was across the road from the school I was in, just kept doing it.
Is judo big in Ireland? Or is it just like...
No, it's not massive.
Grappling isn't big in Ireland.
No, grappling in general, like there's no wrestling in Ireland. Like none. It's you get wrestling in MMA gyms and jiu-jitsu gyms, that's about it. Yeah, I mean, MMA in Ireland is only getting big now, since Conor, obviously. But then he made it big in the whole world as well. So it's getting big. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's just gonna keep growing and growing. That's why we're gonna see athletes get better and better, because they're gonna start doing it from a younger age, and it's just gonna be that whole new wave. But yeah, I put all my time then into judo, and just worked my ass off at that so I didn't have to study and I had an excuse. And then I made a deal with my mum that I would try go to college for a year, because she knew that my sister didn't go to college. She was like, your brother, I don't know what he's gonna do. He's younger than me. And she was like, please just just try it. And I was like, I don't want to. I'll make you a deal. I'll go for a year. If I don't like it after a year, I'm not doing it. I was sick of it after about 4 weeks. So I made her a deal, so I kept the deal. And then when we went back to the second year, I went in on the first day. I walked in, the boys were sitting on the left, the girls were sitting on the right, and I walked out. I was like, fuck this shit, I'm not going back to this. I can't do it. I'm done, I'm gone. I'm like, it's not happening. And then
did you not like the structure of it, or you just didn't see the point of it, or both?
Everything. I was studying retail and services management for no reason other than my mum wanted me to do something. I knew before.
You're just picking whatever.
I knew before I'd done my leaving cert, which is my exams, that I didn't want to do anything. So, I knew that. I knew I was going to end up in sports. I remember when we were doing our Debs Awards, like a thing at the end of the year when you finish school, you go to a Debs and all this, and they done an award for like most likely to be famous, and I was like, oh, these fucking idiots putting this guy down. I'm like, I'm going to come back one day and go, wrong, told you so. And I knew I would. I knew I'd end up being successful, and I always had this mindset about me, as in like, I know I'm going to be better. I know I'm going to do, like, end of the year, there's a yearbook. Yeah. And my quotes in the yearbook, you do a quote, an ambition, and a goal, or whatever it is. And my quote was one of my favourite quotes. I have a tattooed. It's a day without laughter is a day wasted. Yeah. It's laughter changes everything. Do you know what I mean? If you're sad, depressed, whatever it is, you laugh. It takes everything away. Yeah. It can last a whole day. One joke that you get told in the morning can make you laugh before you go to bed. If you remember, go, fuck that guy at the shop saying that. It can last a whole day, and it can just be a sentence. Okay. My ambition, my favorite memory was one of them. Was just showing up every day and spending the day with my best mates and having fun. That was it. And then my ambition was. This is such an Ian Garry quote, and I remember my art teacher came up after he took the photo of me and had edited the book. He goes, and he looked at me and goes, excuse my French, he goes, you are one smug motherfucker. He's like, you're the only person that can link this photo and this quote together. It was like my little side smile that I do. I have like a little side smile. It's just like, I know I'm better than you type of look. And my quote was, to be better than you, ... Why? Because I can. And it was just like, I remember like my mom looking at it and all going, and I was just like, there's just something in me that I know I can be better than everyone if I want it. Like, if I want it, I said to you yesterday, when I'm done fighting, I'm going to go play golf. Yeah. What? Because I can. If I put all the time and energy that I'm doing into MMA and starting my management company and doing everything we're doing, if I just put that into the golf, I don't see why I couldn't succeed. Yeah. I don't see why, if I don't put my head down and do something that I enjoy and I love, that I couldn't succeed. And that was basically my mindset in regards to college. Yeah. I didn't love it. I didn't want to do it. I was doing it for someone else. And that was something that I basically just had to go, do you know what? It's not about you. It's not your life. It's mine. So I quit college. I didn't tell my mum. I just was like, it's my life. I'm not having anyone else's input in what I'm going to do with my future and my life. Didn't go down well with either of them, but at the end of the day, fast forward to where we are now, and I was right, and that was the main thing that was important to me. Is I followed my heart and my ambitions and what I wanted to do, and it's led me to somewhere where I'm happy to be where I am because I've worked hard to get here, and it was my belief and no one else's until everyone else seen that it was possible, if that makes sense. Yeah,
you got to prove them wrong when that happens, and I think you overcame a lot of obstacles in the beginning. Yeah, you are a very driven young man. We can see that I can see it when you walked into the gym. But talk a little bit about that letter that your mom got, because
it was funny, mate.
I know you now, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. But talk a little bit about that so people know.
So my mom, after I quit college, my mom was disgusted with me. As any mother who wants to see her son succeed, which in her mind was go to college, get a job,
of course, the standard.
Be secure. Yeah. Fine. that isn't my concern. My concern was that like I didn't want to do that. And you can't explain to someone how you feel about something and then understand it that well when it's so deep inside you that you just know. Like I couldn't explain to her how I knew I was gonna be good at whatever I did.
No, you gotta show her.
You can't explain how deep inside you just have a feeling that this is the right thing. You can't. You just gotta do it. You just gotta hope and pray that everything that you feel inside works out and that you do everything you can to get there. So she was obviously disgusted with me, and she had her path of what success would be for me in my life, and obviously she wants me to be the best that she can help me be. But that wasn't it. So she wrote me a letter because she couldn't speak to me, and she left it on my bed before she went to work the next morning, after coming in and turning the lights on, flicking them on and off to wake me up, because she's like, if you're going to be in bed, you're not going to wait, you're not going to sleep in here, you're not going to get up.
It's definitely a parent move for sure.
Flick the lights on, so the lights flash, and I'm just pulling the covers over my head. And she left it on my bed, and I came in and I looked at it, and I took photos of it straight away, and I walked into her room and I ripped it up and I threw it on her bed, and I was like, I'm not reading that. I was like, I'm not fucking write a letter to me. If you want to speak to me, talk to me. I was like, don't write me a letter. I was like, but I have photos of that. And I remember saying to her, I was like, that's gonna come back and bite you in the arse one day. She was like, whatever, goodbye. Walked downstairs, went out the door to work. Stressed, do you know what I mean? Like her son's doing something that she doesn't want it to do. It's nothing to do with her now. It's my life. That was my aspect. I was like, I didn't talk to him for a reason. So yeah, she wrote a letter, and in it said like little things being like, I will not support you. I'm like, I'm not asking for your support. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Being the next Conor McGregor isn't a fucking plan. No, it's not. It's not the plan. My plan is to go do what I want to do and have fun and be the best me I can be.
Exactly.
But now everyone's talking about me being the next Conor McGregor. So it's just quite funny how those two, and it was just like all these little things of like
there's some comparisons, that's all it is.
Of course, yeah.
You're from where he's from, right?
Exactly.
And that's where it kind of ends at that point.
100%.
You know?
I think it's just, other than the fact that I'm from where he's from, it's also the fact that like we both talk a lot of shit. We both back it up.
Sound the same.
Exactly. That and there's a lot of mental links for people to look at and go, oh, he's kind of like him, and that's it. And I get it. But even like that line alone was funny at the time, and just the fact that like she wrote a letter being like, I'm not like proud of you, like I won't support you, like this, like the way it was written was just like saying I give up on stuff was the one that hit the most though. I think it was like the fact that you never complete anything. I'm like, that's because I've never found anything I love. I don't agree with school. I don't like schooling. I don't like the idea of going into a building where people feel like they have authority over you and can tell you what to do, and you have to eat at a certain time when the bell rings you can go eat, that you're not allowed to get up and go piss freely. Do you know what I mean? Without, hey sir, can I go piss? No, sit down. Fuck you, I'm going to piss. You know what I mean? Let me do what I want. If I need to pee, I'm gonna pee. I don't have to ask for your yes. And it was just little things like that. I just didn't like it. It was just like that whole system, the whole way. It's like it fed into all of this, because it's like I am the bit disruptive. Even in school, I always kept talking. I was always loud, as you can imagine. Like you'd hear me before you'd see me type of vibe. You'd know I was coming around the corner before you knew it was me. All these things, and that led into everything. It was just like I've never really made my own choice. I was told at school I was going to. I remember I only said this to my missus recently, when I was speaking to her. The first day of school, so when I was 13, I was going into a new school where I didn't know anyone, because my mom told me I was going to the school because it's closer to us and it's easier for her to get a train and commute to work and all this. I sat there and I bawled my eyes out for about 25 minutes. Before, me and her in the car, and I just said, I don't want to be here. And I'll never forget it, because I left in there, going in there like red-eyed and just upset, and I was like, I wanted to go to the school where the people I already knew were going, and she was like, we can't do that, yada yada yada. I'd never made a decision for myself, so all the decisions in life, even in regards to training and everything, they were all kind of like done with like parental approval and like, well, we'll help you and we'll do this. It was like, I'm making a fucking decision on my own. I'm quitting college, I'm not doing this. I gave my uncle a call, got a job cleaning windows.
You were able to at that point.
Exactly, yeah. And it's still, it's been growing. Like, I'm still finding it hard to do that now at times, because you have to grow and adapt and gain that confidence and gain that ability to say no to someone or to say yes. And it's like, you don't piss anyone off, you don't upset people. But
how old were you at this time when you did that?
When with
the
letter?
The letter, yeah.
18.
Okay.
18.
So you're there at that age. You're kind of like, all right, I can pretty much step out away from
100%. And it was more just like, I rang my uncle after I quit college the day after. I said, look, can I have a job? And he was like, huh? I was like, yeah, can I work like during the days, because he owns a window cleaning company. I knew it was early shifts, finish at 2 p.m. I was like, I can go home, sleep, and I can just train at night times. And that was basically the next 2 years of my life.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a full origin story. I think I've gone into everything you possibly could.
Okay, now you've done that, you've been successful, you started MMA, and then you started to blow up on the scene overseas, right? And Cage Warriors, right?
Yes.
You got the title of Cage Warriors.
I did.
You met this young lady right here.
I did.
Yes.
Before that. Before the title. What?
Before the title.
Well, yeah, before the title, but Cage Warriors really where you guys met, right? How was that? How was that transition from like, because you didn't do any like regional scene type of fights, huh? You went right to Cage Warriors?
So yeah, for pro, yes. I obviously fought amateur. But my first pro fight was 7 days notice for Cage Warriors.
Wow. And that was the first fight, and then you had a title fight after that, or what?
No, so my first fight for I've had 7 fights in Cage Warriors.
Gotcha.
7-0. First fight was on 7 days notice against a young prospect who I remember a teammate of mine went up to fight in an amateur show, and the guy I was fighting in Cage Warriors won the title at welterweight and then announced that he's going to go pro.
Okay.
And I hadn't had a fight at amateur yet, this dude that won. So he had way more experience than me. And he was from like the gym closest to my gym in Dublin. So there's kind of a rivalry, like we think we're better than you, like we'll show it. So when the opportunity arose, I was like, fucking right, let's go. 7 days notice, I can make weight. All right, sweet, let's do it. Rocked up, showed everyone what. Broke my hand a minute into the fight.
Oh shit.
Yeah, broke my right hand. Bits. I just remember punching him. Me and my mum went back and counted. I punched him 47 times with my right hand, and I was like, I just had to do anything to win. I was
numb it up now at this point.
Exactly, 100%. Let the adrenaline kick in and just punch him in the face. So that was kind of the whole start of it. Got the contract to Cage Warriors after that fight, and then it was just like a conveyor belt of fucking men that were just getting like beatings. Just the neck. I fought then in London, went 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, racking them up, and then 6-0 was the Cage Warriors semi-final, which was basically a tournament that was designed, in my opinion, to slow me down, because there was 3 people in the tournament, and out of their last 3 fights, all of them had a loss. And I'm like, I'm the only one sitting here all green. And it was purely because of that, I believe, that was to slow me down, rather than giving me the title straight away. And going, look, give me the title against one of them, and then let one of them try to take it off me, and then let another one try to take it off me. I'll go through all 3 of them.
So
no
first
problem.
Get the title fight,
exactly,
and then they all have a chance to take
it. So basically, and then any one of these, they win, they beat me. They can try beat me. That's what they can do. We knew it was never going to happen. So they done 2 semi-finals. I got a viral head kick knockout against an ex-UFC guy. Put him to sleep. It was brutal. It was brutal. Every medical was in the building. Every medic in the building was in the cage. Oxygen in the cage. Like Mark got out, the refs. I know. My missus speaks. She was like, it was serious when I seen Mark come into the cage, because he didn't need to be there. And it was just like that kind of authority. Like when he walks in, he's one of the best refs in the world. It's like, okay. And it was just like, I'm just sitting there going, yep. A little bit of me was kind of like, is he dead? Because if he is, might be fucking cool for my round. Kicked him in the head so hard he died. I'm like, I'm being that is exactly what went through my mind. It's what went through my mind. And then I went like that. I sat down on my hunkers and I went, you've been there. You know what that adrenaline's like. In a fight, I don't care if you're in an armbar and I'm gonna snap your arm if I get the chance to.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you a chance to go, yeah, I'm done. I'm gonna fucking snap it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Yeah. If I have your neck and you're not tapping, I have no problem turning and putting you in a wheelchair. Like, it's not, that's your problem.
Yeah.
If I have your neck and you're not tapping and my forearms across your face, I'm going to break your teeth. That is your problem. That is your body. That is your concern, not mine. Exactly. Your main job in the cage is to try beat me, but if I am beating you, protect yourself.
Yeah.
What happens after that isn't anything to do with me. It's just, you signed up for this. This is what you're going to get. So obviously when I calmed down, my adrenaline came down, I was like, all right, I hope the dude's all right.
Yeah.
I did find out though, like, he didn't know where he was. Like, he lost a week of his life.
Really?
Like they were like, where am I?
Yeah.
He's like, what happened? How did did I have a fight?
Is he still fighting?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not after that.
Shouldn't.
So then that led me on to the Cage Warriors world title fight.
Yeah.
And I was fighting a friend of mine, someone I got along with.
Really?
Yeah.
They train with you, or you just?
No, we just this is my 6th time going to a Cage Warriors hotel and being there and being involved. Obviously, so through COVID, we were doing Cage Warriors trilogies, which were like back-to-back shows. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights.
Yeah.
So you'd have like 3 nights, like 3 times the fighters you normally have in a hotel.
Oh yeah.
And you'd have all of them there. You'd all be like chatting shit, having a laugh.
Gotcha.
It was very boisterous and a lot of food and a lot of people throwing jokes and all this. But I'd always like sit there and chat to them. We'd sit down, we'd watch the fights together. We'd have a good laugh.
Yeah.
And then like, it just happened, and I was like, all right, mate, I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm gonna have to kick the shit out of you. And that's exactly what I did. I just went in there, I was injured, and I was like, nothing was stopping me. I was like, I know I can win this fight. Went in, and I knew the implications. I knew once I won that fight, I knew the way that my mind, how the fight could play out. There was no way that I wouldn't go straight to the UFC. 12 hours later, after winning the fight, I had an email with the UFC contract.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Self-confidence is very important in this game.
It's a superpower.
It is.
It's a superpower.
And when do you really feel like you had that skill? It is a skill, in my opinion. When do you feel like you had that skill?
I don't know. It's a good question. Because I don't think it was... The first day I walked into my former team in Dublin, I walked to my coach and he said, hey, I want to fight.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, slow down. I said, no, I know what I want to do. So like, I had it before I went into the gym. I mean, I had it when I left college. It's just about trying to pinpoint exactly where it was.
It's tough, yeah.
I suppose I knew I always had it. I just didn't have the bravery to kind of act on it. Or the understanding of how to utilize it would be the way I could explain it.
Well, you also figured out that you're really good at this particular thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
I was really good at everything I did.
Yeah.
I'm athletic. Like I'm
I know that.
Yeah, or as you say, quite athletic. One thing. When I become a UFC world champion, I'm gonna come back into the gym to him and be like, quite
don't come
athletic.
at me like I was doubting you, bro. I'm just gonna still say you're quite athletic. But you're a great fighter, I'm gonna say you're quite athletic. There's plenty of those. Then we're gonna line them up, make them join the NFL and shit. Come on, man.
I do that as well.
There it is. He's putting me on a list and shit. And fucking,
on to that shit.
Yeah, he's got it underneath his bed and shit.
I do. I help. You know what?
Fucking knock him off
It's quite athletic. I was like, fuck. She know what I can do. Athleticism.
But how did that help you though?
Of course it does. It always helps me. No, but I like that. I like when people tell me like, or be honest, or give me their opinions. Like, all right, I'm gonna show you.
Doing this game, being in this game for a long time, coaching in this game for a long time with individuals like yourself, elite guys. I've always found a way to get them to push harder. That was one of my strengths in a lot of ways, because I've coached over 200 elite fighters in the past 13 years. And every one of them have their own little ticks, right? And for me, if I can give you a little bit of a spark, I'm gonna do that. But what I wanna know actually was, who was your biggest influence? You know, not even just, let's go from when you're a kid, then now in fighting. So you got 2 that you can give me. Or maybe 3.
What do you mean by influence now, to be exact?
Influencing being giving you the roadmap in a sense. And it could be yourself. But who have you looked at to be like, damn, that's what I want? You know what I mean? Because something had to spark your interest in MMA, right?
I mean, that's pretty obvious, that one. Mm-hmm. That one, like, that was Conor.
Yeah.
I remember, I can tell you every place I was for every Conor fight. That's because my friends were all talking about it. We'd go, like, I for the Mendez fight, it was meant to be Aldo 1. I was in Alicante at a bar with my mates. Mm-hmm. For the Aldo fight, I was in my mate's gaff in Portmarnock after going on a night out, and everyone was out drinking, excited, waiting for Conor. We got back 13 seconds, we're like, alright, that was kind of anti-clip, built us up all day, boom, knocks me out. I'm like, okay, he's just done it. Yep. Like, that's it. Yep. I can tell you all of them, because me and my best mate used to sit in his house and just watch them every night, and every night he was on. And the waves and the way he had people talking in Ireland was obviously massive. So Conor would obviously have been the main reason I was drawn towards MMA. Mm-hmm. I believe I would have found it regardless. Yeah. Purely just due to my own, what I feel is destiny. I would have found this regardless, but it's nice to have like a catalyst in it and just have him kind of pull you towards it and speed up the reaction. I don't know if I've had like many inspirations in my life. I've always been someone to push myself and make myself go to places and do stuff and learn and grow, and I've always valued that about myself, is that I'll always push myself. Always nice to have people around you that help inspire you. But early on, there was a coach in boxing called Liam Ski Mullen.
Oh yeah. That's a real Irish name.
Yeah, right Liam Ski Mullen.
Yes.
And I'd love...
Does he drink like a sailor?
I think he was in the... I can't remember now if he was in the army or if he was in the navy or something.
I was guessing on that one.
But he was a phenomenal boxer. I mean, he was about 60 years of age.
Yeah.
And he'd come in and he was brilliant. And I'd love to get him over to a fight now.
Yeah.
He lives in the same estate as my nana does, and I used to every now and then just pop over to his house and like say hello, how you doing, check in on him, see he's all right. But like every time I've talked to him, like he worked in the hospital where my dad used to be a lot, so I'd go in and like I'd see him in the shop and I'd chat and talk to him.
Yeah. You talk to him about fighting and stuff like that?
Yeah, he's always, but I haven't seen him in years now. But early on in my boxing days, he was the guy that made me want to come back to the gym.
Yeah.
He was the guy that made me want to come back and hit pads, and he was. I'll never forget that we. I just won my first boxing. I didn't have a lot of power as a kid. I was fighting at 32 kilos. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was 10 or 11 fighting at 32 kilos, 36 kilos. Got like, you don't have power as a 36 kilo kid, but I had a lot of speed and a lot of technique. Mm-hmm. So I just used to overwhelm people with shots, and I remember. I was fighting a bigger kid, a bigger weight, in a tournament, and it was 5 minutes down the road from my house. So we were training in our gym, and it was in the hall across from our gym. Okay. So like, unreal, let's go. So in we went. I turned him into. He came in at me, threw an aggressive shot, ducked under, got him into the corner, and just unleashed a flurry on him. The ref gave him a standing count. I came back out. Went straight back in, pushed him back into the corner. The same thing, just speed. Yeah. And I won the fight. The ref seen the towel was thrown in from his corner because I was just like just speed.
Overwhelming.
I went back in, and the main coach, the fella who owned the gym, was like, that was sloppy. Like, you could have done better. Mm. And Liam, the older gentleman, was sat beside me and goes, I'm not having that. You can't speak to him. That was a fucking great performance. Yeah. Kid's just got his first stoppage, just because he's going to take the limelight off your son tonight because he's going to get the best. And that was it. It was like he was sick of like this. His kid was phenomenal. The guys who owned the gym, his kid was amazing at boxing, like huge. He was brilliant. And he was like, if you have that attitude, you can fucking leave. And I'll never forget, he sat there and goes, if he leaves, I'm leaving. Yeah. And I was like, shit, okay, I've got someone who's got my back. That's cool, all right. Yeah. And yeah, I just worked my ass off for him. So he was someone who, not necessarily I looked up to, but someone who just I felt had my back as a kid. I'd always say, he'd always pick me out and work with me. So
well, that's a definition of an influence, because now you're looking at like, all right, looking at him as somebody you can count on, you know. And that was one thing that I would like to have known, because even with myself, even though it wasn't somebody that I could look to right beside me, you would look at things that, you know, people that are in your world or where you want to be, and then that can be an influence for you. Not to say that you need to follow their footsteps in a sense, right? But there is little things that you can take from that, you know.
And I've obviously, like, I've had a lot of like sporting. I've been involved in a lot of different sports, a lot of different teams, a lot of different coaches, a lot of different setups, and I got along with some of them, I didn't get along with some of them, and it's nice. It's you understand when one is real and when someone connects with you properly, and it's different, and it helps.
No, absolutely. I did want to ask you, because I know you love the fight game. What's the biggest thing that what's the most, I guess, the best thing that you like about the fight game?
Outsmarting someone.
Just matching them, right?
Outsmarting someone to the point that where you know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Khabib's an example of it, basically. Every single person on the planet knows what Khabib's going to do in a Khabib fight. He's going to come in, he's going to put pressure on you, he's going to eventually take you down, and he's going to look to smash you. Now,
you going to stop it?
No one stopped it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not through lack of trying, but they have tried. And they failed, and he's just done him, and it's a very simple blueprint. He goes in, puts pressure on, he doesn't strike a lot, just doesn't mind taking a shot, because he knows if you commit to one, he's going to get in and he's going to get that takedown. So he had he knew what he was doing, and he was good at what he did. So that kind of plan is what I like. But I want to be able to do it more like GSP and John Jones, who can kind of do it anywhere, at any place, at any time. They can do it on the feet, they can do it on the ground, they can out wrestle you. One of my favorite fights is GSP versus Josh Koscheck. Josh Koscheck was like, I'm gonna wrestle fuck his ass. He's never gonna felt a wrestler like me.
And I wrestled himself.
Boing, boing. He's just getting ragdolled by GSP. And it's that aspect of I want to be better than everybody, everywhere. And it's gonna take time. Like it's MMA, it doesn't change overnight. Absolutely. It's a grind, it's a consistent everyday thing where you work, you hope you get that 0.01% better every day, and eventually it'll all click in where you can do anything to anyone at any given time. And that's what I want, and it's to be able to outsmart someone and say, look, you're a big strong dude, I want you to feel like you should be able to outstrength me, and if we get into a grappling exchange, that you're going to be able to pin me down, you're going to be able to get me to the cage and have your way with me. And I want to do the exact same thing to you. I want to go, if he's going to try wrestle me, I'm going to try wrestle him. And then I'm going to beat him where he thinks he can beat me.
Beat him at your own game.
Exactly. And I never ever want to feel like I shouldn't go somewhere with anyone. Thank you, appreciate it. Like I shouldn't go to the ground with you because you're dangerous, or I shouldn't strike on the feet with you, I need to get you to the ground. I'm gonna go, look, wherever it is, you're gonna have a bad time. For sure. So my favorite part of fighting is the fact that I can manipulate someone's movements, whether it be physically or just kind of mentally. Like if I throw a feint, and obviously that's a physical feint, but like mentally, if I can make him move where I want to move. The chess match of making someone's head move in a direction where my kick's going to be to generate.
You're manipulating the body.
Generate more power. That is my favorite
Setting
thing.
Traps.
Exactly. Setting traps and making people fall into them. That is my favorite part of fighting.
The strategy behind it. 100%. The tactics behind
100%. Being smarter.
Yeah, exactly. I think the best generals in the world know how to put together the strategies and the tactics to outsmart their opponent. Whether that be on the battlefield, whether that be in the cage, the ring, whatever.
100%.
You know, so you have that at a young age. We're going to keep that thing going, and you're going to get smarter and smarter where it's going to be unstoppable.
100%.
Don't let me big your head up even more than it is.
Also, I'll put onto that, I don't want to get hit. I like my face.
I see that.
I like my face. I want to stay pretty.
Is that barely a little bit of cauliflower?
Yeah, barely. I actually got a little bit softer the other day there, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have any of that shit.
Yeah.
And I've been training, I trained for 10 years. I think it's my ears. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Never had really any bad injuries here, so we're good.
No. I got this one here from a fucking stupid move. I went to head and arm someone in a gym, and he spun. And just caught my elbow. I was like,
felt it immediately, didn't it?
Whole ear here was just blown up. I'm like, what the fuck? It just came in from the middle. But yeah, so obviously outsmarting people and being able to manipulate them. but mainly like I don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
Those two things.
Yeah.
Hitting people and not getting hit back is special.
That's the sport, and that's how it should be, you know.
It's special though, to know that you want to hit me, that you want to do everything you can and you can't. That's quite special.
Yeah, for sure. That gives me to this point, you got a lot of young fighters that watch this too as well. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give to those individuals starting out? Let's say they're amateur and they want to turn pro. What best advice would you give them?
There's two ways I can look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And there were two things that I did. You've got to be confident in your dreams, your hope, your aspirations, but you've got to be realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fulfill your dreams, your hopes and your aspirations if you realistically know you can never get there. Like if you have to be real with yourself, to be honest with yourself, like in the truest form.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you might go, I don't want to do that job, I want to do this. It's like, but are you really going to be able to do it?
Yeah.
And if you genuinely, truly sit down and think that you can do it, then don't let anything stop you. Go for it. Yeah. Give it all. Don't work your ass up. Go get a job. Work. Make sure you're getting your money so that you can give yourself even more freedom. Most of my money that I made when I was cleaning windows went on food. I ate like shit because I was a kid. I ate a shit ton of food. But I also spent on massages. I spent it on going to like training. I spent it on like getting new training gear. I spent it on stuff that was going to benefit me and push me forward. I wasn't spending it on going out drinking with my mates and fucking partying, which is something that I kind of like, I've fallen out with. Is like, I don't like going out anymore because of that. It was like, I just want to focus. And it's like, you've got to be able to kind of put yourself in a position where you can succeed. And that's mentally and in reality. Like you've got to take, if your best friend goes out every weekend and is messing you going, oh, come on, we'll go out, we'll go pull some chicks, we'll go drink, we'll go have a good time. It's like, is that going to get you to where you need to be? And for a young kid, do you know what I mean? I can understand how like that fear of missing out where they but I want to go out, I want to go have fun. It's like, I'm sitting here now having not gone on holidays with my mates, having not gone out and missed out on opportunities that I wish I could have gone on, but I knew it wasn't beneficial. And it was hard for me to not go on them because I seen all their stories of them out in Thailand on these beautiful beaches, and I've seen them they're having fun in Vancouver, and they're off backpacking across Europe, and I'm like, I wish I was there. But I knew that what I was doing was more important to the long term. And when I sit now, I'm like, I live in Florida and I'm training one of the best gyms in the world, and I'm a UFC fighter. It's those choices, those little choices where it's like, I knew it wasn't right to go there. So I'm glad I didn't. That I feel like genuinely have gotten me to here. It's like those tough decisions that you don't want to make, but you know you should, are the main thing. So have confidence in yourself and your ability, that if you genuinely truly think and are in like deep inside you believe that you can do what you want to do, then do it. And don't let anything stop you.
That's a great answer, kid. Yeah, I think that everything that you did was an investment, right? Your 20s is a natural investment if you want to live through your 30s, 40s, 50s and on. So you created not only just like a physical investment of having to put yourself out there and work for money, but it was also a mental assessment, or mental, it was mental because you had to make sure that you weren't giving yourself up, right? 100%. And doing the things that are going to be apparently good at the time, right? Now, with that, what do you got coming up this year? I know you got a few things.
There's a lot of things.
We got the fight,
There's obviously a lot of things coming up. So I'm fighting April 9th, Jacksonville, Florida, UFC 273, another pay-per-view card. They know what they're doing. They're smart. They're right. They're doing it the right way.
They're putting you on. That's smart.
Yeah, they're putting me on another pay-per-view. It's 2 fights, 2 pay-per-views. I'll take it. They know I can run my mouth, and they know I show up and I fight. That's true. That's it.
First, listen. Let's talk about this. So when I got the call, you hit me up on Instagram.
Instagram,
you DM me on Instagram, and I said, "Who's this kid?" So I looked up. I saw the belts, and I go, all right, yeah, come through. It comes through, and then within the second, I think it was the first or second day, the ESPN was here. I'm like, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah, there was like six dudes here.
Never seen this before.
I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks in.
Yeah,
like,
poor Brandon. Yeah, fucking Brandon got thrown into the wolves. Brandon's a great trainer. I love the kid. He's a great GM for me. But yeah, he was nervous, man. He was nervous. But I'll tell you this, he did his thing, and I'm glad he did. And I'm very excited for you, though, man. Yeah. I'm very excited. You know, what else do we have, though?
So the fight, obviously, which is the kind of the main focus, but me and my missus run my management company together, so we didn't sign with anyone. We wanted to do everything internally and do it together and do it the right way.
You guys are a dream team.
Exactly, yeah, the dream team. So we've got a lot coming up. We have got some merchandise coming out soon, which is going to be cool, which is very big. We just announced today a new deal with a new partnership with FizzFit. It's a sparkling water with protein. So yeah, I'll have to get you some of that when it comes in.
I'll talk about sponsorship later.
100%, yeah. We'll
sponsor the podcast.
So that's cool and that's exciting because obviously they're different and there's not waters out there with protein in them.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool. We have some NFTs in the pipeline that are coming out soon. Jesus, what else have we got? We're working. We're working.
It's on your chest.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to think of everything. These are my main ones. I play safe. Okay. Jesus, they're my they've been there from day one. They were backing me. They've been like so supportive of my career. I love the people who run it. I love what their goal is. They're a sexual health company who basically want to be the future of sexual health and stop as much, like prevent as much as they can. They do testing kits, and they want it. How many times have you had a conversation when you were a kid?
Let's go.
Do you know what I mean? But no, here's the thing. This is brilliant.
We're fucking going real now.
But this is why I did when these came
after hours.
When these came to me,
let's talk about it.
I loved it. I loved it, right? Because when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever age it starts at, whatever age, you don't want to have a conversation with someone about if they've got STIs or STDs or riddled or whatever it is. You don't want any of that conversation. You come in, you're like, I'm gonna here's the bill, I'm gonna leave. You don't want it. It makes people feel awkward. It makes people feel weird. So I don't know how many times like you've had that conversation with someone, but it just feels when they ask you, you're kind of like just hairs in your back, so you just kind of this conversation's it's
an awkward conversation.
Yeah, it's just awkward. They're basically trying to prevent that. So you get tests, you then get a badge, and then what their plans are is to basically put it out there that you can send to someone that you are free from any STIs and that you can play safe. So yeah.
Wow,
it's a smart idea.
What's it called again? iPlaySafe?
iPlaySafe.
Nice.
So yeah, you can download the iPlaySafe app.
There you go.
Yeah. But it's very smart. Man, I forgot about them. Like they're on my chest, they're everywhere. But I've been so involved in them now that it's just like I speak to everyone about them because people are like, what's that? And I'm like, it's great. Yeah. It's great. So like for anyone who's young and like wants to go out and have fun and experience like women or like men or whatever it is you're doing, it's just about being safe, and it's just about protecting.
Or both, you know.
Or both, I mean,
might as well.
Well, fight hard, play safe.
Yes, I guess so. Or stay hard,
fuck hard, play safe.
Yeah, okay, that one too.
Just go in on it.
Fuck hard.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we're doing.
She said something else. Wait, what else?
I'm mouthing coffee.
We want to bring out a coffee brand.
Oh, you're fine. This is perfect.
Yeah.
I need my coffee. You know what we need to do is we need to have whiskey and coffee together.
Yeah.
Right? And I think somebody's done that before, but I'm going to make it better.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Competing in the whiskey world?
Oh, absolutely. I think Dustin has his own whiskey now too. I told him.
Tequila, isn't it?
No, he's got
whiskey.
It's whiskey.
Oh, so now they're gonna run Dustin and Connor 3 back, and they're gonna do
probably it's gonna be the sales are gonna go down. You know, it's fucking crazy.
My whiskey's better than yours.
Yeah, right. Exactly. This was a bourbon versus.
Yeah, you know the way in the US
Irish.
in the WWE used to be like an I Quit match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where did you ever see them?
No.
Back in the WWE, where it used to be like if I beat you, you have to quit from the company. Like,
oh yeah.
They should do that. Like if I win, you should discontinue your whiskey. Yeah, that's it.
Raises
that'd be a smart idea.
That raises it up.
That'll take it up a notch.
It makes it serious.
100%. Yeah, we've got a lot coming up this year. Everything's kind of. I want to better myself. I want to better kind of everything we're doing as a family, as a team. We're getting married at the end of the month.
Awesome. So boss just hit me back.
Yeah.
He said, yes, he said, Bas Rutten is going to maybe marry them. Boss says,
he wants to. I like it. I love Bas.
He said, haha, love those two birds. Please tell them I said hi.
Send them my love back.
Definitely.
But yeah, we're getting married at the end of the month. So that'll be fun. And it's just like everything that I want to do and we want to do together as a family, as a team, is to just, as I was saying earlier on, is to just point us in the direction that we want to go. I've been like, as of lately, I've changed my phone number. I've turned off my DMs on Instagram and shit like this because I don't want distractions. I don't want. I woke up this morning because we went to a surf camp this morning, a surf thing. It was basically a surf class. We brought Lucas to the brought him to the beach this morning at 7:00, and there was loads of people surfing. We got the sunshine. Other than turning my alarm off in the morning to get up for that class, or to get up to that lesson, I haven't looked at my phone. Like, I don't want to be on my phone. I'm away from it. I don't need it. It's just not beneficial for anything I'm doing other than work, which is obvious. But I don't want to be a slave to a piece of technology. And that's something that I'm trying to change. Like, even like in regards to like friends and family, I changed my number. I think maybe 10 people have my number. You
were telling me that,
Yeah, I think 10 people. I think
you're setting the boundaries, though.
Yeah, and it's not that like I don't like right now. I like the fact that no one has my number really, and it's like if they want me, it's hard for them to get to me, and it's like I might see it, I might not. I don't know where they'll get me, but if they get me, they get me, and they'll make an effort. You have it. I messaged you on it the other day.
No, I do get it.
Yeah, you got it.
That's right. I feel special.
Yeah.
I talked to Layla more than I talked to you.
Yeah, 100%. She's the one in charge. But that's it. Again, she sets up everything and does everything because she's better at that than I am. The amount of times someone come up to me and said something to me, gone. And then she's like, did someone say something to you? I'm like, they said something to me like a week and a half ago.
Did this massive brand offer you this? And he's like, oh yeah, about 3 weeks ago. I was like, how did you not mention?
I'm like, I forgot about that. I'm like, but then you gotta understand, I was training and then I went and I slept and I was hungry, so I had to eat. And my mom was on different things, like
Nike called and
yeah, exactly. It's like they wanted to make a new shoe. You think you're new Jordan. It's like, but I'm actually hungry, so I'm gonna have to go make some food. Completely forgot about it. Yeah. But that's like something that I'm just not good at, is dealing with all that, and the fact that she is amazing at it makes my life a million times easier for putting my energy and my focus into training and getting better and growing. But yeah, like I've kind of distanced myself from friends and family, and like I've literally moved thousands of miles away from them all. But it's like I talk to them every now and then when I want to, or when I see something, or when I want to share something with them. But other than that, I'm just trying to put my fucking head down and go. And it's just like, that's one thing I want to do this year, is kind of separate myself from everything and just focus on the goal and the tasks at hand, like, and getting better and growing and just doing everything I possibly can and leaving no stone unturned. Because I've said for years, since I started this, if I'm going to do this, I'm doing it all in. And I don't just mean as a fighter, I mean in life. I mean, like, it was that kind of thing. It's like, I want to be the best me I can be, and I'm gonna make mistakes along the way. It's life. Do you know what I mean? I was only saying this to like Layla the other day. It's like, it ain't easy. Like, it's not easy at times, but you find people that you want to fucking walk through this life with and take shit and jump over shit together and crawl through shit with. But when you get to where you want to be, everything's good. And when you find someone, like I've obviously found Layla, and it's like when me and her are doing everything in this life, it's like I really don't care anymore, like, about anything. It's like, I've got her. Once we're together and I'm doing what I love and she's happy and our family's happy, then everything is okay. And it's like, and all we ever need to do is to make sure that is the same consistency through this life. And it's like, I could be the best fighter in the world, but if my family's not happy now, then that's something to me that is a necessity. It has to be that way.
As a fighter, that's a small window of your life.
100%.
You know what I mean? So you're taking
I'm not
care
just a fighter, though. That's my main thing.
Exactly.
It's
what you do. It's
exactly,
not who you are. We know.
Exactly. Like I'm a competitor more so than I'm a fighter. Like I like to fight, but I'm a competitor.
I like that.
I like to win.
Well, we know that. Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah, you heard my categories, right?
I literally do not care if it's about fucking sticking your finger up your nose and pulling out a bigger snot. I'm going to be more competitive. It's that simple.
No,
I don't care.
You know.
It could be about seeing who could lift more weights. I ain't gonna beat you, but I can fucking try. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to lose that one.
But like it's just in me. I have this competitiveness, this ego that's like, oh, I can't fucking let you get better. I can't.
No, I see that. Or people telling you what you can't do.
Oh no, that's my favorite. I told you about that story yesterday.
Yeah, tell a little bit about that.
So we went to Costa Rica after my world title fight on a holiday. We met friends and we went to this waterfall, and it was beautiful. So I like to be adventurous. I like to find cool ways to make this more fun. So everyone's in the bottom of the waterfall in the little pool, and I'm like, I'm gonna climb that waterfall. So I start climbing up through the waterfall, all these slippy wet rocks, and I'm like, cool, sweet. I get to the top of it about what, 30 feet up? More?
Yeah, babe.
What? 50?
It was fucking huge.
Yeah, all right, about 50 feet up. I don't know. All right, let's go 50 feet up. And it wasn't deep. It wasn't deep. And I seen these local Costa Rican guys. They were like, not possible. No, not possible. And I'm like, shit. She's there like that. Ian, think like you've just signed a contract to the UFC. Your body's an asset. Like you are literally you are everything. You're your brand, your business. Don't fucking jump off a rock that high. And I'm like that. I'm like, these guys are all thinking I'm not gonna do it, or they're trying to convince me. I'm like, the moment I got up here and I looked down, I knew I was doing it. So I'm like that. I'm
already up.
I'm letting them all chat. The Costa Rican guy's like, not possible. They're trying to run up and see if they can see the angle. I'm like, they're not climbing up high enough because they didn't want it. I'm like, right, I've had enough of this shit. Dove off, and then I was like that. Straight into the water. I come up, I was like, not possible. Not possible. I feel fucking fine. Swam back over, and she's looking at me going like that, that was stupid. I'm like, don't tell me I can't do something. Yeah. Something simple like that. It's just like, just don't tell me I can't do it. She's learned now to tell me that, like, it's like, no, you can do it. And I'm like, are you just telling me I can do it because you don't want me to do it, or are you genuine? What reverse psychology are you trying to play here? What are you doing? So that's funny.
It's all about language now. It's like, you can do what you want, but like, I don't think it's the smartest idea.
Yeah,
I know. You have to use your words. If you say, don't do that, that's stupid, or I don't think you should do that, or... Of course. Yeah.
Because I will.
I mean, you could do it, but do you really want to?
Yeah. Or I tell you what I use now. It's like, that looks cool. I think I could do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's not challenging.
It's not challenging enough, yeah.
No, but then I'll be like,
you can do it too.
Exactly. Well, if you can do it, I don't want to do it. Yeah. No, but it's like, just everything. It's just like, I want to better my life. I want to get everything in the right direction and put everything into place to give myself the best opportunity for success as a man, as a fighter, as a competitor, as just a human, just everything about us. That's just what I want to do. Like, even my diet, I've gone to more plant-based now because I'm like, right, it's better for me to get me to where I want to be. It's better for the environment. It's like, I find it hard at times because like the stuff I've grown up with that I like to eat, and like even one of our family members said to me recently before my last fight, he was like, are you hungry? I was like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna go up and make some eggs. And he's vegan. He's like, yeah, convenience kills. I'm like, no, you can't. Now I feel like shit because I'm gonna go up and eat them eggs, but I'm gonna eat them anyway because they are convenient. They do take 2 minutes to make, but it's like, I'm not perfect. I'm getting towards where I want to be, and it's hard at times. But like, so's life. Yeah. So it's just about trying to get everything in order and do everything I can.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Here's your final words. We're gonna go with best quote that you've ever heard. Think about it. Or you can just come up with one because you're airing Garry. I come up with my own shit.
It's tattooed on my body.
Let me hear it.
So you've seen that one already, the bottom one. But it's the one on top of it.
Say it.
Love the life you live and live the life you love.
Boom. There it is.
That's the one. It's on me for a reason.
We're gonna end it for that one. But I do want you to tell them where they can find you at, Instagram, all that.
Ian Garry MMA on basically everything. If you look up the future, it's Ian Garry MMA on Instagram, Ian Garry MMA on Twitter. Hit me up there.
No, it's not.
Yes, it fucking is.
Ian Garry.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's just Ian Garry, babe.
It is Ian Garry.
You sure?
Reasons why I exist.
Layla, what's his Instagram?
So go on to Layla.
Yeah.
This is see, look, this is what I do. This is why I don't do this. I don't market myself. I fight.
He just made me double check. I was like, wait, what?
That's all right.
It's Ian Garry MMA on Twitter.
We'll put it in the show notes anyways. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
My name's Ian Garry. Just fucking find me somehow. That's all you need to do.
Website?
IanGarry.com.
IanGarry.com. Easy.
YouTube.
All right, guys. See you next time.